Baby, the LA Times say that Erika Jayne and her husband running a Ponzi scheme on the children, the orphans, and the people with cancer. And Rinna steady showing Garcelle why they will never be friends. I got my notes. I hope y'all got yours. Let's get on into this mess. Y'all, so let's launch right into it. So we're gonna start with the aftermath of Garcelle spilling the tea that Tom still calls Erika and throwing the group into disarray. Now let me preface my statement with this. Erika is entitled to feel the way she feels about the situation. That is her right as an American, a woman, and a person whose life is going into shambles. However, her response to Garcelle is not proportional to the crime that she perceives that was committed. Now, let me say that one more time. Erika is entitled to feel the way she feels about the situation. However, her response to Garcelle is not proportional to the crime she perceives that she committed. Now, I say that to say this. You cannot hold someone's feet to the fire for something that they did not know. Per Crystal's own admission, Garcelle wasn't in the car when Erika told Crystal, do not bring this up in front of the other ladies. So listen, Garcelle doesn't know what she didn't know, okay? And don't get me wrong, okay? Garcelle can be very invasive. She can ask very probing questions. She can be all up in people's business. But I just do not get malice of intent with her bringing this up to the group in that setting, right? Furthermore, Erika, you done told 1,300 damn secrets from your life this weekend, okay? And how is Garcelle supposed to know that the 1,301 secret is the one that you don't want shared with the group? Listen, if you did not want Garcelle to say anything, then you shouldn't have answered the first damn question, right? Let me say that again. If you didn't want Garcelle to say anything about the situation, you shouldn't have answered her first damn question, right? Because you lulled her into a false sense of security that it was okay for her to bring these things up. It's okay for her to have this open dialogue. It's okay for us to make this conversation or the conversation surrounding you and Tom, the relationship and everything going on like that, a public forum and a public discussion. The thing that I can't deal with in the situation is that Erika acted as if Garcelle called up page 6 and sat down and did a 4-page spread on this damn information that you told her, okay? The woman told the group of friends, your friends, right, that you're with this weekend about something that she thought that the group should know and that you divulged in what she thought was, yes, it was a trust circle between Erika, Crystal, and Garcelle. But to be completely honest, when Garcelle came into the situation this weekend, she was inundated with all this information from the other ladies about you that you told them. So you can miss me with the tears and the crying and the, you trying to get your moment. And I feel like my trust is being violated. Garcelle didn't know what she didn't know, and you can't hold her to the fire for that. And I don't see it. I'm all for calling a spade and calling out people when they're wrong. But y'all drop down in the comments and let me know, was Garcelle wrong in that situation? If she didn't know that she wasn't supposed to divulge that information, was she wrong for bringing it up? I say no. Let me know what y'all think. Let's move on. Okay, so let's move on to Rinna, pick a side. Rinna, I generally like you. I really do. I like your lips, okay? I like your hair, okay? Your hairstyle that you done had for umpteen years, girl, it works for you. There are not many people that can pull off the same damn hairstyle for 35 damn years. Girl, you're one of them, okay? The hair, the lips, the family, the Harry Hamlin, his acrylic nails, girl, I love it all, okay? But in terms of Garcelle, mama, I'm going to need you to pick a side, okay? Because all you've done this episode is show Garcelle why she should not trust your ass and why she should not let you in, okay? Now let's break this down. You have gone to, all sorts of ends to try to convince Garcelle that, you're interested in rebuilding your friendship, getting back to where y'all used to be, getting to a better place. But baby, as soon, okay? Say it with me, church, as soon as you get the opportunity to show me that you're a good friend, you show your ass, okay? You show your ass, okay? Y'all cannot tell me that there was a way that she could have been judicious in that situation between her, Erika, and Garcelle in terms of being a friend to Erika and being there for her while also not throwing Garcelle under the bus, right? And I'm not saying that, that Rinna shouldn't have defended Erika or whatever. All I'm saying is that if you're trying to get on a better plane with me and you're trying to rebuild your friendship with me, then the first thing out your mouth in the situation shouldn't have been, venom spewed towards me in terms of, it seems that you're doing this maliciously, or, it seems like you have some sort of ulterior motive, right? You should have been able to give me the benefit of the doubt as someone that you value and that you want to be your friend, that I'm coming from a good place and that I didn't mean any malice of intent behind it, right? So listen, you can't have it both ways, okay? You can't have it both ways. You can't want to be this lady friend and throw her under the bus at the same time. So Rinna girl, pick a side. Moving forward, Garcelle stands her ground against the group. Is there an apology needed? Absolutely not, okay? The only apology that was needed in that situation was Garcelle to Erika, and Garcelle gave that, right? Because as we said earlier, she was not privy to that conversation between her and between Erika and Crystal in terms of don't say this to the group. So she didn't know what she didn't know. However, does she owe an apology to the group for bringing it up? Absolutely not, okay? The way that y'all gossip and bring stuff up in this group, you can't pick and choose what can be said and what cannot be said. And like I said, I do not get malice of intent from Garcelle. So I'm not featuring the fact that she needs to apologize to the group and, it's this big rigmarole. And Rinna, girl, you are so full of it. I can't even, okay? If y'all couldn't tell, the reason why I'm reviewing this damn show is, well, number one, I'm tired of them damn New York Housewives, okay? I'm over it. I needed a break, okay? And number two, this damn tea with this damn show is so damn interesting. But back to Rinna, okay? On my nerves once again. And I'm glad they showed that scene in terms of Rinna doing the same damn thing to what was that girl name? The one that left. No. Yeah, the one that left. What's her name? Garcelle friend. Charlie Sheen X. I can't remember her name right now, but y'all know it. If y'all knew who I'm talking about, Denise Richards. Look at that. Look at God. Okay, God came through for me. In terms of Rinna doing the same damn thing to Denise Richards that, Garcelle is doing now. So miss me with all of it, okay? People ask probing questions in this group. That's the nature of the group at hand. She did not mean any malice by it, and I don't really see an apology being needed in this situation. So moving forward from that, good job, Garcelle. Do what you need to do to shut Rinna up and move on. Kathy Hilton says, I don't see color, and that pretty much brings the girls into an equality/race conversation. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I sort of cover this issue ad nauseum with the New York Housewives and Ebony and all them and stuff. But suffice it to say, I'm very glad that Garcelle took the time to show Kathy Hilton why saying I don't see color is a privileged statement, right? Because if you think about it, being able to say that you don't see color is privileged in and of itself, right? Because Black people, Hispanic people, Asian people, they don't get to say that they don't see color because they have to see color every day. And to Garcelle's point, in the world, she first shows up as a Black woman before any of her accomplishments, her fashions, who she is, how much she's, accomplished in life. That's who she is as a person, right? Or that's how she shows up in the world before anything else happens, right? So, and I want to say this, I didn't see any sort of malice of intent with Kathy Hilton, okay? Kathy is rich beyond belief and absent-minded as hell, okay? So she does not give me, any sort of racist type vibes or, not seeing color. Like, I understood what she meant by it, right? She was pretty much saying that she accepts people for who they are, right? But I think that in this climate, and especially in this country right now, language and choice of words and phrasing is very important. So I do feel that Garcelle did what she needed to do in terms of showing the ladies that, you know, yes, I wish that we were all equal, but we're really not in this country. And I also thought it was great that she sort of had, you know, a little bit of backup in terms of Crystal from her Asian American experience in the country versus these women's white experience. So not going to spend a lot of time on it, but the conversation was uncomfortable. But listen, it needed to happen. And y'all just got into it in a light level, if you think about it, okay? If the conversation was easy to happen, it would happen all the time, and we wouldn't see the sort of outcry that we always see in the news and the media and etc. when something happens relating to Black Lives Matter, you know, race relations in this country. It's race is the Achilles heel of America, and that's pretty much how it is. And until we address it and get past it, there's going to be no healing that can happen. Moving forward. Erika and Tom LA Times article that she diverted, that Tom diverted $20 million in funds to fund their lifestyle, and he claims that he's broke. Baby, the stuff done hit the fan in this damn divorce, okay? Now, when the LA Times, okay, we not talking about Page 6, honey, and I'm not saying that Page 6 is not a reputable establishment, but I'm saying in the hierarchy of papers, right? Page 6, LA Times is different levels, right? It's different levels to this. LA Times, Washington Post, etc. Reputable places that do reputable investigations and XYZ, right? I knew there was more to the story, okay? I have always looked at Tom and Erika's lifestyle and wondered how that was possible on a lawyer's salary. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that, you know, Beverly Hills lawyers, California lawyers make a whole bunch, but y'all was living to an extent that most people will never reach ever in their life or can never even dream of, right? So let's just break it down like this, right? The whole main tenet of the situation is that they diverted this money to fund their lifestyle. So essentially robbing Peter to pay Paul, and Paul being your, you know, private jet, your champagne lifestyle, your mansions, etc., right? Your lifestyle in a sense. Now, breaking it down from a business perspective, you know, I have a degree in accounting. I used to work for a place that that did like real estate transactions and whatever. But I say that to say this. The mere fact that he transferred money from his business to personal accounts is not necessarily the crime here, right? Because at the place I used to work, the owners would regularly move money from, you know, the business accounts to their personal accounts, and I guess vice versa. However, let me break this down before, you know, y'all come with your pitchforks. When owners of the company take money out of the company and put it into personal accounts, right? It creates a loan situation. It creates a receivable, right? And there's no crime committed provided that it's notated as a loan, right? Which is the receivable, and that it's also paid back. The problem in this situation is that the money was taken from the company, put into private accounts, and it was never going to be paid back, right? And that's the crime of the situation, okay? And furthermore, that you took money that was specifically earmarked for orphans, children, plane crash victims, cancer victims, etc., and never intended to pay that money back, right? So you can't do that from a business perspective. You cannot take company funds, deposit them in your account, never intend to pay them back, and use it to fund your lifestyle. That's the crime in essence, right? And to Sutton's point, and this is why I say, like, I'm telling y'all, we are missing parts of this story that will make it all make sense, okay? But I do not believe, don't get me wrong, I do not feel that Erika Jayne is the mastermind behind this situation, okay? But Erika Jayne, she may give me, you know, taken care of woman, kept woman, you know, in the dark about a lot of stuff, but she does not strike me as stupid. And you cannot tell me that where there's smoke, there's not fire, and that you didn't assume something, or you're complicit in the sense that you went along to get along and did not do your due diligence like you could have, right? Okay, so let's break this down a little bit further. To Sutton's point, which is what I was trying to make earlier, if you have an LLC and your name is on the LLC and funds were deposited into the LLC, you are then responsible for those funds as the owner of the LLC, full stop. So that's why Erika can sort of be culpable in this situation, because if the money is deposited into your account and, or your LLC, and then through your LLC to your account, you have ownership of those funds. Now, let's play devil's advocate, right? Let's say that Erika got this money, right? This man transferred these funds, but it was unbeknownst to her, right? And that's something completely different. Now we're getting into the territory of fraud, in terms of, forging documents, etc., right? Because listen, to Rinna's point, if Harry Hamlin puts a contract in front of her and says sign it, because of their relationship, because of how many years they've been together, and she signs it, that's just how they are, right? So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Tom Girardi came home with some forms one day, put it in front of Erika Jayne's face, and gave her a pen and told her to sign it, and she signed it, right? However, it does create a fraud situation if she did not know what she was signing, but then one could say she should have read the damn contract. It gets very dicey, and that's why this matter is, honestly, y'all, it's best fought out in the courts. And I understand that it's, gossip, and it's very interesting, and it makes sense, but it makes sense to talk about it, is in terms of what I mean, but it's I don't know, it's like one of those 8-headed snakes. It's like once you cut off one head and you understand one situation, 7 more pop up, and you're trying to figure out, okay, well, where does this fit? What you told me before wrong? And I understand the ladies' conflicts in terms of not being able to fully support it because they don't understand. And I think that gets me to my next point. But actually, before I get there, Tom claims that he's broke. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that. If you are as great a lawyer as, you claim to be, as, people purported you to be, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that the money is somewhere offshore in a Cayman Islands account, Swiss bank account, or in a maze of LLCs, per the whole Madoff Ponzi scheme, realm of possibility there, right? I think this is honestly a case, y'all, of where two things can be true at the same time, right? Do I believe that Tom Girardi has some sort of element of Alzheimer's, dementia, and that impaired his judgment? Yes. Do I believe that it's a little bit coincidental or convenient that that's being brought up as a defense to his current situation? Absolutely. So two things can be true at the same time. And like I said, I think it's best fought out in court, and we're going to see what happens with the situation, because it does not look good for Tom or Erika. But, listen, in Tom's case, he damn near 80 and almost out of here. So listen, he has more days behind him than he has ahead of him. So Erika Jayne is really the victim in this situation. If you think about it from a legal perspective in terms of whose life is going to be impacted more by this decision, it's probably going to be hers. It's probably going to be hers versus him. And I'm not trying to be insensitive to the victims of the crime and whatever. They're the true victims of the situation. But I'm just talking about between Tom and Erika. Honestly, Erika stands to lose more in this situation between the two of them. So moving forward to my last point, y'all. I just wanted to do a quick segment on hearing gossip versus supporting your friend. And I say that to say this. The reason why the ladies are so confused is because they don't have the full picture of the situation, right? The problem with the legal system, not really necessarily the problem of the legal system, more likely the tenet of the legal system is that you're innocent until proven guilty, right? But it comes with a caveat, because in order to be proven innocent in the court of law, you have to go to court, you have to state your case in XYZ. And with that comes an element of secrecy, because anything you say on this show to someone, your gardener down the street, your friend on the damn show, it can be brought up in court, right? So I understand the ladies wanting to blindly support Erika in terms of she's our friend. If she says she didn't do it, we will ride with her. But I also think that all the stories in the news sort of chip away at that resolve in terms of wanting to believe her, wanting to stick by her, because with the nature of court, she can't tell you the full truth, right? And when you're dealing with someone that cannot tell you the full truth of a situation, you can't ever get a full picture as to what they knew, what they didn't know, and what's actually the situation here. So I would honestly say, you know, absorb all the information that's coming to you. Try to take things with a grain of salt and just let it play out in court like it needs to. And honestly, I'm really Team Sutton on this situation if you think about it. Not in terms of that Erika's completely lying, but in terms of y'all have been put in a bad position if you think about it. Because anything she tells y'all that she hasn't already divulged to her lawyers or in court could possibly be subpoenaed onto the damn, you know, court case, and y'all could be having to show up as witnesses, or footage could be taken to, you know, support claims that are being made against Tom and Erika. So this is just a mess, okay? And the longer it goes on, the more layers that come into it and the more people that get involved. So listen, y'all, that's all I really want to say on this matter. So if you liked what I said, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Stereo, and Twitter at DatDamnDasher. And until next time, y'all, if you want to stay your ass out of court, keep up with your budget and not the damn Joneses. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.